Hi everyone, thanks for joining this presentation. What I would like to talk about is talent acquisition's new role in internal mobility. I actually got 15 minutes for this presentation, which is going to be very challenging because what I'm going to talk about is a global project that ran for a year and a half and we just launched this year. So before I talk about the actual project, let me just talk about a little bit about the company. So who is Flax and why was this significant for us? Flax is a company, a manufacturing company with over 160,000 employees. And the significance of this project was that the result of this project was actually influencing every single employee. It touches every single employee that we have in the company in over 30 countries, in over 100 manufacturing sites, in design centers, in manufacturing sites, in corporate offices, so everybody is included. And why we started this project? So we looked at statistics, right? We're continuously looking at our hiring and hiring sources, and we started looking at statistics that where we are compared to other companies. So we went out and saw that other big companies, big organizations like Flax, actually fill their positions internally on more than 50%, while at the time we looked at the numbers, we were globally on around 20%, which is very low compared to the market. Additionally to this data, we also saw the internal survey results that our employees were actually planning to stay with the company and welcome opportunities internally and wanting to grow within the firm and not leave the firm. So why not provide them the opportunity to grow within the firm? And once you have that, of course, you are asking the question that why is it good for the company? What is the benefit for the business? So we looked at, again, some data and realized that we actually already fill positions quicker when we are filling the position internally. And of course, it's quicker and faster to train the people. They already a fit to the company. They know the culture. They know the processes, our policies. They know us. So it's much quicker and easier to integrate them. And of course, the morale is increasing because we have a lot of happy employees who are developing their career internally. So then the next step we reviewed is that why we are where we are at the moment. Why are we only on 20% of internal hires compared to other companies? So we realized that we have a lot of internal processes, policies that are actually not motivating our employees to apply for internal opportunities. One is that I'm mentioning on the slide that pre-approval was required from managers to apply for a job. Or even if people didn't get the approval, their manager actually got the notification at the application stage. Why is that? When I apply for a job outside of the company where I work for, I don't need my manager's approval. So why do we want to keep that in the process? So that was one main element. The other was that we didn't have the support for our recruiters, not on the process or the policy side, not on the system side, to do proactive recruitment and really motivate our internal people and employees to apply for jobs. And then there was one more factor that we reviewed, which is not related to the actual application, but it stopped or prevented people to have a very good experience because we didn't limit the transfer period, right? So I got a job internally and I didn't know when I'm going to be able to join the other team. While if I leave the company, I have an official notice period, and that's the maximum, right? The company cannot keep me there any longer. So basically, what we decided to flip that to the other side. It's not a lot of change if you think about it, right? It's just a few things we needed to change and review and policy changes. But what we realized is this is actually a significant change in culture and mindset. Changing culture and changing mindset is not happening from one day to the other, and it's not happening without support within the organization, and it's not happening by doing one communication. We also realized that we don't know whether our system, what we are using, and the ATS and the HR system is going to support this kind of changes that the recruiters will be able to be proactive. So what we did, right? We started having conversations with our business stakeholders and HR people everybody who was important to be brought in this. We did hiring manager conversations, regional and global manager conversations. And once we had the sponsorship from them, then we also looked at, okay, what else do we need? We need to identify the people who can support us, right? Because we need to communicate the changes. We need to change the policies. How do we do that? I didn't know personally when I started this project how to change a policy. Or we need to give access to recruiters, to employee data. We need to talk to data privacy team, legal team, marketing team, a lot of different functions. You need to assess the system if that's capable of those changes, what you require from the system. So these are all very detailed planning and a lot of work. So you can imagine why it took us a year and a half to do this project. And the global consistency, I already clicked on the slide, but one important thing that you cannot have silos and differences in different regions. When you are building something globally, it has to be consistent globally. So what are the changes we actually implemented? Not a lot, again, but significant. So what we are saying is that we are not giving an offer to an external candidate before we would post a position internally and externally. That gives our employees time to find the job, to apply for the job, to have initial discussions, to assess if they could be a fit and they would be interested. And then, which is more significant, is we enabled our recruiters through policies, processes, and the system. We changed the system setup and we gave them the tool to be able to proactively search for the internal talent without getting anybody's approval. Employees can apply for jobs without any approval, and the manager will not get the notification at the application stage, but will get the notification at the interview stage. And also to provide a good experience for employees as well as hiring managers, now the transfer period is limited. Ideally, we say it should be 4 weeks, but should not be more than the official notice period. We know there are a lot of countries globally that has a much longer notice period than the 4 weeks. System requirements. We are on the recruiTECH conference, so let's talk about system. So what do we need the system to do for us? The system needs to be able to handle the eligibility criteria. We have eligibility criteria for employees to apply for a job that relates to time in position and performance rating. The system needs to be able to handle that. And we also need an internal database, right? We can give the tool to the recruiters if there is no database to search it. So what is an internal database? In Workday, because we use Workday for our HR system as well as recruiting system. So in Workday, there is a section which is called on the employee page called professional profile or talent profile. We use both terms. And basically, that's an internal resume. The system can even pull information from the resume if somebody already applied for a job and we hired them through a resume. So it fills out some of the information, but there is more. More that is important here internally. Is the employee open for relocation or project work or anything that is related to internal move, for example, or traveling? And then, what if the recruiter is searching in the profile, right? They are doing an internal search, just like they do a search on LinkedIn or they do a search in any job board database. The system actually will filter out those employees who are not eligible. So when they search, they will not get those employees, so they don't have to double check whether that person is eligible or not, which is great, already a big help for the recruiters. And then, to have the employees be proactive, right, they can also set up job alerts. So they can go in the system and say, if this type of position in this location will be posted, I want a notification. So that's fantastic because they can be proactive as well. Internal applications, when somebody applies, the system again can see their eligibility, assess their eligibility, whether they can apply for the job or not. And if they cannot, then the system will tell them that thank you for applying, but you are not eligible at the moment. The good thing is that those applications not gonna get lost, right? They are there. Additionally, what the success is based on, right? It's not just the system, not just the sponsorship. but also the proactivity of the employee, the proactivity of the recruiter. We're continuously communicating it because it's not a one-step shop, right? You don't make changes with one communication. And basically, the goals and the metrics that we set around what we would like to achieve is that, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are below the market in terms of filling positions internally. So we said that we would like to increase our internal hires by 10% every single year in the coming years. So we're going to get to the industry standard. And then we also would like to increase the gap between time to hire when we hire external candidates versus internal candidates. We already have a 10-day difference. We are quicker when filling internal positions internally, but we would like to see that gap being bigger, so motivate the hiring managers to consider internal candidates even more. And then what we also would like to see is that we would like our internal employees, internal candidates to apply more. Now their manager is not getting the notification at the very beginning. They don't need to ask for approval, so hopefully that will actually motivate them to apply more for the positions, because currently what we are seeing is we have a very, very low internal applicant rate. It's a single digit, and we would love to see that increasing. And then finally, but last but not least, I should say, after a year and a half, we launched this project in February, deliberately made it not an HR action. So we asked one of our presidents to do the communication, because this is a business reason to do it. We need to increase the morale. We want to motivate our people to look for a career internally. And we wanted this to come from a president to show the business support on this initiative. And we got that. And actually, the management feedback, what we received was exceeding the expectation. We got very, very positive feedback. Everybody is so excited to see this in life. But of course, with the launch, the work is not done yet. Okay, we need to do a lot of more communication, a lot of more fine-tuning of the system, because it's still not working 100% the way we designed or we would like it to work. So there's a lot of work to be done here to be able to say that, yes, we succeeded, but I think we are in a very good path of getting the good result what we would like to get. Thank you very much for your attention.